Hello everyone, I'm Eric Bromberg. Welcome to In Depth with Tommy Medio, a show that explores campus issues that affect you. St. Thomas's longest running study abroad program, the London Business Semester, is celebrating its 20th birthday. Over the years, students have immersed themselves into London's evolving financial culture while earning 16 credits towards their business major. Today, we'll talk about the program's origins and how it has changed. I'm joined today by St. Thomas Management Professor and Inaugural Director Phil Anderson. Also joining us are LBS alumni Jenny O'Brien and John Page. Thank you for joining us. So, Phil, let's think back to 20 years ago. What motivated you to start the study abroad program, and why London?
London, let me start there. It's English speaking, so I thought it'd be a fairly easy transition for students that hadn't been abroad to get an exposure to a new culture, but one where there wasn't going to be a major language barrier. The idea for the program was from the former director of the International Education Center, Sarah Stevenson, looking for opportunities for business students to study abroad and really get full credit for their progress towards their graduation. And so why London? Again, partly because of the English-speaking part of it, partly because of it being a financial center, so it would be a real good hub for business students to go to and have exposure to that kind of business orientation while they're studying abroad.
How have you seen that business climate change over the years, and how has that affected the program?
The business climate has stayed pretty much. London is still a very vibrant, one of the big business communities in Europe, probably the biggest one in the Western Europe for sure. So that one has pretty much stayed the same. There's certainly a lot more companies there, a lot of growth. The financial sector is very strong. A lot of U.S. companies have offices there. So from that standpoint, it's a good experience for the students.
Okay, interesting. And Jenny, what are your memories of those early days, and how did that experience help you in your career so far?
It was a terrific opportunity, really because of the reasons that Dr. Anderson has pointed out. I mean, before the London Business Semester was in existence, if you wanted to study abroad, you knew you were adding a semester onto your education. And this opportunity was fantastic. It was the first time that business students really could make use of this wonderful opportunity, still get in all the credits that we needed to, plus the Business 200 course. So we got in our volunteer experience as well while we were there. We were able to tour companies like Lloyd's of London. I'm going to miss some of the other ones, but major businesses, companies that were leaders globally.
Okay. So Phil, what have you seen graduates do from this program in their careers?
Well, we've got another one of the alumni from that very first group, a guy named Ryan Connie, who works for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And his primary job is to help small businesses get established in foreign locations, primarily South America. And there's just, I went down, it suck up too much time, but there's a lot of alumni from that very first program and from subsequent programs that have gone on to be very successful in their careers.
It's very interesting. So John, you've had a couple months to reflect. What stands out to you about your experience in London?
Looking back, I think my time in London impacted me in a couple key ways. The first is just in terms of how comfortable I am traveling and feel like I can pretty much take on the world at this point. Phil always talked about you wanted to get us to the point where when a company offered us a position as an expatriate, we'd be the first ones to put our hand up and say, yep, I'll go. So I definitely say I'm at that point now. I remember first time landed in Germany with my buddy Kyle Andrews. We'd never seen a German sign before in our life, but we were able to manage our way using the subway system and get back to the hostel just fine. And knowing me, I was really bad with directions before going, but I feel a lot more comfortable now, and even spent a couple days in the Czech Republic by myself while over there, which wasn't intentionally planned, but it ended up being a great experience. But I was just really impressed with that. And then secondly, I think the relationships that I built were huge, both with the people in the London Business Semester program, as I'm sure you know, Jenny, and then also with the people I met along the way. Coming back with 50 new friends has been absolutely awesome. Seeing a bunch of faces around campus that I know, always saying hi, and still able to reconnect about our experience in London. And then even with the people I met abroad, definitely had a lot of cool interactions with people, had a lot of sweet relationships that were formed, and I was even excited to see God work in those a little bit, and still am praying for some of them today. So overall, it was an awesome experience for me.
That's really great. So Phil, this is the longest study abroad program on campus. What is its secret, and how does it need to change to continue?
Well, I think the secret is that part of it is, again, this notion that the students can get that study abroad experience without losing ground towards graduation. Otherwise, it makes it an expensive venture, both in terms of dollar outlay, but also in terms of just time before you get into your career. So I think that certainly is part of it. I think the other part is that we have worked hard to create experiences for the students while they are in London, both within London itself, but also opportunities to travel and experience other cultures. They do homestays, so they get a sense of what a family life is like, and I think that that is also adds another level of richness to it that appeals to students.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. If you have a comment about the show or an idea for an upcoming segment, tweet it to @TommyMedia. Thank you for joining us with Phil Anderson, Jenny O'Brien, and John Page. I'm Eric Brombach. We'll see you next time when we go in depth with Tommy Media.